Hello friends, guess who it is? I'm back again. So sorry, it's been a while, it's been about a month, but welcome. If you are new, thanks for checking me out. I used to be a weekly podcast. I've now kind of turned into a monthly podcast for now. Hopefully once school's back in session, maybe I can get back to it. I was ready to go. I recorded the, beginning of July and I was like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna do it every week. And then things happened and it just didn't happen, and I'll talk about that a little bit at the end. My name is Andrea. I'm also known as the Cat Lady. That's CATT and stands for Craft All the Things. Typically knitting, spinning, any fiber related stuff. I want to get back into sewing too, which I haven't, as well as some crochet. So lots of things. Today though, it's mostly going to be knitting and spinning. My cat is rubbing on the tripod, so hopefully that doesn't fall over. This is episode 57. It's August 3rd. 2016. I can't believe it's already August. You can find me on Ravelry, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I'll just do a search for the Cat Lady 2 T's and everything will come up. I will try to get the show notes written in the Ravelry group. If I don't, just ask me any questions, contact me anywhere, and I will get you whatever you need to know. So this episode, we'll do some podcast news, knitting, spinning, stash. I actually got a bit of stash. It's been a month of collecting things, so I feel like I'm forgetting something still, but we could just save that for the next episode, I guess. A little bit of health and wellness news and a monthly review. See, cats are digging into everything. Cats are still upstairs. This is a good thing too. So let's jump right into podcast news. I had an introduction and then introductions thread. If you want to come and say hi, please feel free to check out the Ravelry group and come say hi in the introductions thread. And this month's introduction is basically Benita. She's the host of the Fiber Pusher podcast. I've checked her out a couple times and I wasn't subscribed, so now I'm subscribed. She is a part owner of Dyed in the Wool as well, and I believe I bought like a bunch of little fiber samples from them at Michigan Fiber Fest last year. I bought something because I have a business card and the name's familiar. I just can't remember what it was, but I want to say it was a bunch of like little samples to process or like comb and spin. So still on my spinning list. So I haven't worked with those yet. But so hello Benita, thanks for coming to check me out. In other podcast news, I decided I get to take a little adventure this year again. I'm going back to Rhinebeck. So I kept telling myself, October's busy, I shouldn't go, I don't want to go, I don't need to go. I was actually going to go to Stitches, but that kind of fell through. Stitches Midwest, which is this coming weekend. But that kind of fell through and didn't work out. And so I'm like, and I'm going to miss Michigan Fiber Festival this year too, because seriously, the weekends are just filled. We're just so busy with family stuff and random stuff, and I don't know what we're doing. I feel like we haven't done anything all summer, but we're just busy. So, I told myself, okay, well, I'm not going alone. It was fun, but it was like scary and crazy, and I don't want to go by myself again. So I kind of started poking around to some local friends and like, hey, does anyone want to go to Rhinebeck this year? And now we have a full car, 4 ladies all going. We're all going to share a room, so it's going to be super efficient and budget friendly. I'll save up my monies to spend at the festival this time. And we're actually staying at the same hotel that I ended up crashing with Sarah, the Canadian knitter, for that whole story on staying at a crazy hotel and crashing with somebody else. Go fast forward or rewind to last October's episode. But yeah, so that hotel was okay. I mean, it was still, it's a Super 8, it's a place to sleep. So, but there was going to be 4 of us, I'm not going to be alone, so that was the only thing. It's just kind of scary just being in strange places alone, so. But I'm going to meet up with, hopefully, Jen, the Uncreative Crafter, Jessica from Serenova Crafts Podcast, and Lynn and Selma from Two Tangled Skeins. So that's going to be fun. And then, of course, the ladies that I'm going with as well. And yeah, so if you're going to Rhinebeck, please drop me a line, and I will be at the Podcaster Meetup. And I don't know if we'll be at the Ravelry Meetup or not, but, if you're going and you want to come say hi to me or whatever, I'd like to say hi to you too. So let me know. So I'm very excited about that. And if you don't know when Rhinebeck is, it's October 15th, like that weekend, 14th, 15th, 16th, whatever. And if you don't know what Rhinebeck is, it's the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. So, giveaway, I have a giveaway for a pattern. So a listener or viewer, Ultra Mariner, who on Ravelry, she offered to give away a pattern. It's the Gex sweater, so I'll try to put a picture of it, by A.E. Mark. It is a really cool patterned sweater design. It goes from size 0 to like infant 0 to 4XL, so very large variety of sizes, which is cool. I will open up a thread for that. Comment in the thread with what yarns you would like for this pattern. It's a 2-color pattern. And she might have a coupon code going for the pattern as well. If you want to buy the pattern, I will update the giveaway thread with that. So I have to confirm that because she gave me this coupon code like at the beginning of the month when I'm like, oh, I'm going to record again, so I will talk about your pattern, and guess what happened? I didn't. So that was a month ago, so I don't know if the code is still active. So stay tuned for a potential code for the pattern for 15% off. And that's it for news, I'd say. On to knitting. So last I saw you, I had just finished the Fireplace Embers shawl by Debbie Hostas of the Never Cast Off podcast. It was blocking. I showed you a crappy cell phone pic of it blocking, so I figured I would show off the finished blocked shawl. Very pretty. I really love this pattern. This came out really, really cool. It's got some really nice details in it. So you've got a garter section, and then you got this lovely like mesh section, but then this one's my favorite. It's like a drop stitch section. Kind of hard to see on camera, but my Ravelry page is updated with extra pictures too, and I took a lot of close-ups of all these details because it's very pretty. And it's a nice size. It's a very it's a perfect size for a nice little neck shawl. And actually, I think I could kind of wear it as a shoulder shawl, but I really like this. This is the Decadent Fibers Pulled Taffy. This was in the bargain bin at Rhinebeck. This was in the bargain bin yarn at Rhinebeck. It had a lot of knots in it, but to be honest, I mean, I didn't even really notice them when I was knitting because I didn't pull them out as I was skating it up into a cake. I noticed like 9 knots, and I'm like, oh, this is why it was in the bargain bin apparently, because it was 8 ounces of this stuff for like 20 bucks. But yeah, it turned out great. The colors are great. I don't think it had a color name, so, but it looked very Fireplace Embers-ish color, so very happy with that. And the last, my next finished object, which I don't even know if I cast on last time I talked to you. Probably, no, I don't think I did actually. But I did another Carrie shawl, so this is my 3rd Carrie shawl by Megan Sanders. The first one was I did out of hand spun. It was a pink and purple-y one I did last summer. The second one I did a purple one that I gave away to a friend, and then this is the 3rd one, again for me, out of hand spun as well. So, oh, I love it, I love it. This is my, sorry the lighting, got a lot of backlighting. But again, go to Ravelry, I have all the pictures, better pictures. Did I take pictures of this one? Actually, I don't think I took pictures of this one yet. Okay, so I still got to take pictures of this one. But this is the Carrie shawl by Megan Sanders. This is my hand spun, which was the Fiber Optic yarns. It was the steampunk colorway. It was, I didn't say what it was. I think it was just a merino. Rhinebeck, another Rhinebeck purchase. Actually, this was a birthday present to me from Jen, the Uncreative Crafter, but I picked it out at Rhinebeck. I got other stuff on it, but it's a lovely gradient. So from orange to black to gray. Again, another nice sized. Yeah, I don't know exactly the best way to wear it to show off the little picot with edging, and I want to make sure that you see all the colors, and so I'm excited to wear that this fall. Maybe to Rhinebeck. And so what else do oh, and then I finished my July socks, barely. I finished them on July 31st, the last day of July. Didn't start them until like July 19th. But I almost gave up. I almost said, okay, I'm not doing my 12 socks thing anymore. I'm just done because I was getting kind of stressed out. Oh yeah, and I kind of forgot about that one. So I started, the original plan for August, or for July was to start the Agatha socks along with Jen, because we are yarn twinsies. Yeah, it didn't go well. I don't do cuff down socks, and it was a very, very patterned sock, which I'm fine with patterned socks, but it was not it was like a, can't remember how many rows. It was like a 10 row or 12 row repeat that involved a lot of like taking out stitches and putting in stitches, so decreases and increases, but not at the same time. So it's not like you knit two together and yarned over in the same row. You like did some decreases and then like did increases the next row. So it's like your stitch count was constantly changing. And I could not do it undistracted. And well, hello. I have a lot of distractions going on lately. So I tried twice. And I didn't, well, to be honest, I was getting to the pattern and it was fine. I really actually wasn't messed up on the pattern. My problem was casting on for cuff down. Both times I did it, it was too tight. By the time I did the cuff, and it was a 1x1 twisted rib, which I really like the way it looks. It's really pretty, but oh my goodness. It's a pain to do. So twice I did like 12 rows of 1x1 twisted rib. Both times I tried to get it onto my leg and it was too tight. So, and I did what the pattern said, which they just said a long tail cast on, but apparently my long tail cast on is too tight. So after discussing it with Jen and a few others, I need to try the German twisted cast on, which adds a little bit more yarn into the cast. It's basically a long tail, but yeah, add a little extra yarn in there. So anyways, I did not do those socks. I pulled them out twice and I'm like, okay, I need to find something else to do. So this is the episode of this episode is brought to you by Handspun and Rhinebeck, apparently. Because this is Handspun, not Rhinebeck, but I've got like Rhinebeck stuff and Handspun stuff. So this is a merino handspun. This was Jella's fiber, I believe. This was a gift to me from a viewer who is actually one of the people coming to Rhinebeck, so very exciting. And this is the Bubbles Down the Drain pattern by Stacy Perry, who is a Very Pink Knits. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I don't remember the fireplace embers, what needle sizes. They were either US 8 or US 9, but Carrie was US 6. Again, all the information's on Ravelry. These were US 1, which I started with my typical zeros, and I believe since it was hand spun, it's a little bit thicker and thinner and, you know, not as consistent. I mean, it's still fine, but I was doing them on zeros and it just felt too stiff. So I jumped up to 1 halfway through the toe on one of them. And yeah, they did fine on 1. So I made some shorty socks. Kind of see the pattern. So since it was a solid, kind of a solid green, figured I needed a pattern in there to make it a little more interesting. But just regular little short socks and the little lace pattern. Very easy pattern to memorize. It was, you know, even when by the time I got to the second sock, I didn't even, I mean, it's like I didn't even, it's like, because usually I'll double check the pattern, but I think I was out and I didn't have it. So I mean, I just did it because it was just that easy to remember. And it was a toe up, so right up my alley. And yeah. And I still have a decent sized ball left. It's not enough for anything, I don't think, but I just wanted to make sure I got these done. So that's why they're short, and I didn't have a ton of the hand spun. And this is a merino tencel nylon. It said Firestar. I know it doesn't really have sparkle in it, but it had chunks of something in it. It wasn't really sparkly, so it's like these darker green pieces. So my first hand spun socks. I was very excited. So I'm kind of going through my hand spun finally, so which is exciting. So I have 2 hand spun shawls, 2 hand spun socks, and another hand spun on the needles. So that'll be in the works in progress. Last up for my finished objects, sort of a finished objects, I participated in the 5 shawls in 5 days challenge by Aroha Knits. I only got 4 done because day 4 was impossible for me. I tried it three different times. Wasn't gonna happen. So day 1 was a triangle shawl, and you just make little mini shawls. So there's my little mini triangle shawl. And it's just a pattern formula, and you just knit it up. Day 2, which again, okay, so this is the second round she's done of this, and I had printed out all the pages of the first round because I missed it, but I wanted to do it. So I just moseyed along. I'm like, oh, day 2 is the crescent shawl. No, day 2 was not. It was a new shawl pattern. She put new patterns in this round of 5, so it wasn't really a redo. It was a second edition. So I went ahead and made the crescent shawl, and then realized that was wrong. Signed up officially and talked to some friends to get the pattern of day 2. So day 2 was a 3/4 shawl, which actually was really cool. I think this might be my favorite one. And I didn't weave in the ends of that one. So this was a 3/4 square, so it would be really pretty to, you know, real drapey, you know. You have it nice around your backs, and then these little things come in front. I think that would be, you know, would be pretty. So then day 3 was the crescent shawl, and I was already done. So day 3 was easy, because I love crescent shawls too. So, and I learned how to do a garter tab cast on, which actually I like the way that looks. It's really nice. Same with all these, use the garter tab cast on. So it makes a real nice, clean, straight line across the top. So if you don't know what a garter tab cast on is, look that up, because it's a little fiddly, but I think it makes a big difference. And then day 4 was the spiral shawl, and it was knit in the round starting at the center, and nope, wasn't gonna happen. I could not get the yarn. I'm using the Deborah Norville Serenity Sock, and it's very thin. It's a very thin fingering. Maybe I'll try it again with a thicker yarn just to see if I can get it. But it required like doing yarn overs right at the end of a DPN, which I just don't even know how it's possible. It's like you got this yarn over and then you got to try to knit onto another DPN, and I even tried magic loop and it just wasn't working. I tried numerous times, and again I was kind of in a rush to get it done too, so because I had my socks to do and other things, so I just gave up on that one. So on to day 5 was the standard asymmetrical shawl, done in a way that I wouldn't have done it, that I typically, when I see asymmetrical patterns, not quite the way I would have done it, but this was a stockinette asymmetrical, so most of the asymmetrical patterns I do, like the carry and stuff, have all been garter. But it was fine, because there was like some purl 2-togethers in the back, and I don't know, it's kind of, again, fiddly, but there's my little asymmetrical shawl. It was a fun project. It's tempting to purchase her book. She has a book on creating shawls and their charts and like all the different shapes and adding in stitch patterns, you know, into them. So, but it's a little pricey. It was like, I think it's 20 bucks. There's a coupon until Friday, so I have to decide soon if I'm going to get it. But it sounds like a fun book. I would like to dabble in designing patterns, because I just for fun. I don't know if I'd ever sell any, but yeah, so I don't know. I'll have to think about that if I want to splurge on that shawl ebook. So on to whips. So I'm working on the Reina. Oh, that is not the Reina. My Reina shawl by Nora Lavola. I am using hand spun. This is the Fiber Nymph Dye Works Woodland Whimsy Falkland. I made this a fractal spin, which was just the way you separate the braid and split it and 2-ply it. So it's kind of stripey. And of course I'm mid-row, great. So it's going to be a little bit hard to show you, but I am using size 4s because that's what the pattern called for fingering. And again, with hand spun, it's just so hard for me to tell. I have a wraps per inch makeshift guide thing, and I don't even know if I tested this one, but it's got fingering sections and it's got like thicker sections too. So hopefully this doesn't turn out like, I mean, it's gonna block, it's gonna stretch. I'll probably block it a little bit aggressively, because it's got these nice windowy sections in there that need to be blocked, the yarn over sections, so mesh sections, whatever. But it's coming along. I just started, pretty much. The colors are interesting. They seem to play well together, but I like the little stripies that it's kind of, trying not to get all that backlighting. It's kind of stripey-ish, so it's kind of fun. And I will move my stitch marker right now while I'm thinking about it to show you progress. Now if I don't record for another month, I'll probably be done, so it won't matter. But you never know. The kids are now on a schedule for the next month, so I actually might be able to record for a couple weeks. And there's the rest of the ball, so I got quite a bit left. Size, so I said size US 4s. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. Reyna, R-E-Y-N-A. So yeah, all about my hand spun, which is pretty cool. And next is my Awesome Breast Forms order number 3. So if you haven't heard of Awesome Breast Forms, they are a charity website, bunch of awesome women that are making prosthetic breast forms for women who have had mastectomies. And so go to awesomebreastforms.org for more information if you know somebody that needs one, or if you want to volunteer. There's a little bit of a process you go through to become a volunteer. But here's what I got. This is going to be a size C with no nipple. There's 2 versions. There's one with a nipple, there's one with no nipple. I mean, it still kind of looks a little nipple-ish, but after it's stuffed, it kind of lays more flat. The other one, it's a lot more obvious. So yeah, and this is considered a skin tone light color. It's kind of a speckly color. This is the Hobby Lobby I Love This Cotton in the spunky color. And then I'm going to put a little extra oomph color in the back, and this is where's the color? Pasadena color. So that just kind of gives a little pop of color in the back. US 4 double pointed, yes. And this is in my lovely bag from Kim, the Crafty Nomad, of the Crafty Nomad podcast. So she made this for me. Very nice, cozy bag. Perfect for my breast forms. And I'm like, okay, and that was it for that. And then next up, which I haven't cast on yet, but my August socks. I had my husband draw for my little cup or jar, my little jar, and he picked out his socks, actually, which was kind of funny. So this is the Yarbo Garn Mini Raggy in color 68101, but it's kind of a stripy black and gray print thing. So that'll be nice. And it'll be a vanilla sock, size 1.5, with Fish Lips Kiss heel. So another pair of socks. This will be his 3rd pair of socks for him. So he's kind of excited about that. And that's it for knitting, right? No, that is not it for knitting, and I didn't bring it. It's still packed away. I need to pull it out. So now that I'm going to Rhinebeck, I fancied the idea of a Rhinebeck sweater. And I googled Rhinebeck sweater, and it said just could be anything, you know, that you're proud of sweater that you're proud of knitting. Doesn't necessarily mean you made it for Rhinebeck. You know, there was all these, not rules, but like ideas. So my thought is, let's finish my sweater that I started in January for winter camp that never got finished. So all that's left is the sleeves and the neck. It is the Brick by Clara Lee. It was coming out too big, so I ended up making it kind of tunic-y length. So it's like just right, ends right about my bum. And I was gonna make long sleeves, and I started the sleeve, and the one sleeve was coming out way too baggy. So I need to like revisit how I'm decreasing on the sleeve, do the other sleeve, and then I thought of making like a cowl neck. We'll see how we get. So that might be my Rhinebeck sweater, and one of my other friends that's coming, she's actually started the Brick as well, so we'll have matching sweaters. So that'll be fun. And it'll be it's in the Knit Picks Bravo worsted in the Hunter colorway, which is green. US 9. So pulling it out of the hibernation. I haven't touched it since like March, beginning of March. So let's get that done. I'll get that done for Rhinebeck, and that can be my Rhinebeck sweater. So I need to finish my awesome breast form first, and then I'll probably maybe start my socks. So rain I might be put on hold a little bit. I still have other projects on hold. I got Emily's crochet blanket that I would like to get back to. That might be a good winter project though. I have the across the pond that needs to be worked on still. I ripped a few things. What else? What did I rip? I ripped out my time traveler socks. Because I don't know if I talked about this or not, but I might have. I don't remember, but I'm telling you again. So I cleaned up my projects a bit. I ripped out a few things, and I need to work on my whips. I really shouldn't cast on anything else besides my socks. The awesome breast forms I need to complete an order every 60 days, which is no big deal. So I'll get that done, and I'll probably take a break on that and not cast another one on. Maybe I'm aiming for like one a month is feasible for me. So without feeling too overwhelmed and being able to work on my other projects. So that's it for knitting. So on to spinning. Finished objects. I have my, last I spoke, I was about to start spinning my Rainbow on Ecstasy braid, which was by Little Barn Studios. It's a BFL. It was the bright, crazy rainbow. So I am happy to say that that is completed. And it is awesome. So I love it. It is it's a pretty good fingering weight. There's a few really thin pieces in here, which is a little scary, so I gotta be careful when I'm knitting if I need to just cut it and restart it at that. I know one spot in the teal, which I think is at the very end of the color sequences, because I'll probably start with the pink. So hopefully I won't even make it that far. So yeah, this is a BFL. I chain plied it to keep the color sequence, so it goes pink, orange, green. No, pink, orange, yellow, pink, orange, yellow, green, teal. That's how it goes. And so my thought is to start a For the Love of Rainbow shawl by Nina Phillip and pair it with a black. So it'll be black and a neon. And that is alternating the black with these stripes, and I think ideally, so I think you have to really cut your yarn after every row, so that'd probably be good for this, just to make sure I can eliminate some of the thin spots if I come across them. So that is all for spinning finished objects. So on the wheel and on the spindle, I got two whips going. I had Emily draw, and I've never posted the videos. I should have. I meant to put them on Instagram, but I didn't. Maybe I'll put them on at the end of, here, let's see, video at end, if I remember that, of Emily drawing, because, so I had her draw from the cup, and she picked out the first one, which is the Sheep Shed at Mountain View Farms Merino Silk. It is an 8-ounce braid that I didn't know what I wanted to do with. It's very daunting because it's huge. So I told her, I'm like, I'm not sure I want to do this one. She's like, oh, I'll pick again. I'm like, okay. So I had her pick again, and then she picked out the second project, which is the Angora Online Art Bat. Both of these were also purchased at Rhinebeck. So this is all my Rhinebeck fiber will be done after these are done. So I need to finish these by October. And then I have a few more yarns, ideally, that could be nice to finish, but that's okay. That was a thing. So anyway, so she picked out the one that I was intending for the wheel, and then she picked out the one I was intending for the spindle. So I'm like, okay, well I guess I can technically do both. So I didn't really cheat, even though I was going to cheat. Karma came back, or whatever. The universe said no cheating. So for the Sheep Shed, the 8-ounce merino silk, this stuff is like a dream. I mean, it's just like, it's so soft. The merino silk, it is just gorgeous. So here's all that's left still. So a lot. I got a little bit on the wheel. Here's a close-up. So it's this when it spins, it comes out gray. It's like a faceted gray with like all these like pops of color. So it's all these like colorful strips in there. So really it looks like this was blended on a hackle or something. Like all these colors were just thrown in there and then blended. And it came out in a big circle. It was not a braid. It was just like a big loop and it was doubled up. So it was like twice as thick as this, and it was in a big hoop. So, but it was so inexpensive. It was like $20 for that. From merino silk, half-pound merino silk, $23.25. So if they're back at Rhinebeck again, I will so buy another one because it's just gorgeous. But anyway, so if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I did some samples. So I did a 1-ply, which I still really like the 1-ply, but decided against it because it is sticky. The 1-ply, you know, if you have to take out, you have to tink back, it's kind of sticky. That's just 1-ply in general. It doesn't wear as well, and I was a little worried about my consistency of spinning a solid, because I mean it's already, you know, just my sample is very thick and thin, because I need to spin it a little thicker because I don't want it super thin for a 1-ply. I want it more fingering weight. But it was pretty, knitted up really pretty. I made a little knit sample out of this. And then I made a 2-ply. And of course these are hard to see on camera, but this was my 2-ply, and it came out pretty good 2-ply. A little thin, so I'm aiming to spin a little bit thicker in there. And then my 3-ply, which was really thick. Still nice, but this was a chain ply. A bit too thick for my liking. So I'm aiming for a little bit thicker 2-ply. So hopefully not this thick, but a little bit thicker than that. And I made it, did I have my thing? I made like a list of, nope, I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I had to do math to figure out the yardage. So approximately 222 grams of fiber in 2-ply. I should get, according to this sample, so which I'm aiming for a little bit thicker. So according to the sample, which was thin, which like a light fingering, I said I'd get 960 yards. I have no idea if that's right. And then it said 894 yards of fingering 1-ply based on the sample. So, safe to say 900-ish yards I should get, which is about right for 200 grams. Because, you know, you get about 100, for 100 grams you get about 400 yards. So, between 8 to 900 yards. Should be right. So we'll see what I come up with. So, think about that ugly math. So that is that, and then my spindle it's an art bat. So it's the Angora Online art bat. So angoraonline.com, I think. The sheep shed, if you Google the sheep shed at Mountain View Farm, like an at symbol, you can come up with their website, but it's very not user friendly. Particularly, you call in orders, so they're a very small company. I think they probably mostly just do the vending stuff, but there's their logo. Anyways, what was I saying? So this one is 2.2 ounces, so it was a smaller amount. Angora, bamboo, Firestar, merino, silk, and silk thread. So, let's see. Still got a chunk on the spindle. The Angora, it's very, very soft. It's a little bit challenging to spin because the Angora, I think, is super duper soft and tends to want to break. It's coming out thick and thin, like it should. It's kind of, and here's some drafted, but it's got lots of weird stuff in it, but it's coming out pretty nice. It's got black chunks and blue chunks and gray and some green bits of stuff in there. It's just a weird art bat. And I was specifically looking, me and Jen, the creative crafter, went on a hunt for an art bat, and there was not a lot that I saw, and I think we might have missed a section, so I might have been able to find one somewhere else, but that was it. That was kind of like the second time we'd walked through, and that was the only art bats I could find. So, but here's the other half. So it came in two bats really. So they're about 1 ounce bats. But there's a good view of the one side's like all the grays, and it's got some like Firestar stuff in there, and the other side is white and blue and some green stuff in there. Got little nets in there, so it's a fun project. And I haven't spun on my spindle in a long time, so it's kind of nice to mix it up a little bit. Now I'm deciding, so this is all that's left of the first bat, and then I go to the second one. I'm debating whether I should unwind the first one and then do the second one and then ply those two together, or if I should do my typical ply from try to fit it all on there and ply from a center pull ball. To be honest, it feels like obviously the heavier it gets, it's dropping easier, so I might be better if I take it off, but I'll have to decide that. If you have any thoughts, I'm always happy to hear your thoughts. I said I was going to put pictures in there, but I don't think I'm going to put pictures in there because I showed you everything for the, I guess you didn't see what's on the wheel, but you saw my samples. So on to stash. I went to a trunk show at a local yarn store right after I recorded pretty much that following weekend. It was 4th of July weekend, so my friend Kim, who is Chasing Acorns, she makes bags and dyes yarn. She also has a new podcast, so check out the Chasing Acorns podcast on YouTube. I'm gonna try my best to get show notes up by the end of the week. So all my podcasts I mentioned and stuff, I will try to put links in there. But anyway, so she makes bags, and my husband saw a bag that he wanted. He's like, I want the bag. I don't have it because I don't know where he put it because he's using it, which is good. So I will put a picture of the bag that he got. So this was from Chasing Acorns, and then I saw fabric for a bag that I wanted in a small, it was in a large bag, but I preferred a medium. So she's like, oh, I'll just write it down and then I'll make it and send it to you. So I special ordered my bag. So I got the Star Wars Sugar Skull bag, and it's a drawstring bag. It's got her little tag in there. It's a nice nylon interior, and she does the snap bottom bags. So it's like a convertible bag. You can have it as a flat bag, or then you snap the bottoms and it becomes a box bottom bag. So very genius design. And I got cute little teal buttons on the bottom, which I'm excited about because it matches so well. So yeah, so then you have the boxy bottom bag that stands up. Nice little drawstring closure with the clip and a handle with a clip. So very nice. So I don't know what I'm going to use this for. Maybe my next shawl or something. Maybe the rainbows. Love the rainbows. That could be pretty in there. And then there was also Ice Melon Stash. So there were three vendors there. It was Chasing Acorns, Ice Melon Stash, and V's Yarn. And I knew I wanted to buy something from Kim because I wanted to support her and I like her bags. And Jim was all over it, so I was like, okay. But then I figured I wanted some fiber too and support one of the other vendors. So this is Ice Melon, and she's icemelon.etsy.com. Organic Polworth. And this is Go Home Wool, You're Drunk. Is the colorway. So real pretty. I've never spun Polworth, so this real pretty pastel-y, gray, purple, teal. So I'm excited to spin that up. I'm running out of fiber. It's sad. It's really sad. I'm running out. I only got like 3 or 4 braids left. What am I gonna do? Buy more. Maybe. I'll have to wait till Rhinebeck though. And then I bought some yarn from V's Yarn. This is a bulky, which I've never bought bulky hand-dyed, indie dyed really, so it was kind of a treat. Something different. It's very soft, superwash merino. And this is Wine and Wool, but real pretty pinks and grays. So this will, I think I'm gonna make a hat for them, maybe for Rhinebeck. Maybe a Rhinebeck hat. I like to do a bulky, slouchy hat. So that is my trunk show purchases. And then I got a prize from the Never Cast Off knit-along, which was for the Fireplace Ember shawl. And originally I was confused because I thought I was, when she told me I won, I was confused on what I actually won, because I thought it was from the knit-along in the Ravelry group, but no, it was from the extra drawing from the Instagram hashtag. So I won the 2 skeins of this Knit Picks cotton. They didn't know what it was exactly. So it's just a green Knit Picks cotton. It's very soft. Softish. I mean, pretty soft. So yeah, nice cotton. I don't know what I'll do with it. Something fun. And then I got a prize from the TV Nerd Knits podcast. I won some stitch markers from Loosely Knit Pearls. I got to pick my color, and I said I liked pink. So I got a set of stitch markers and a little heart in there. So that's pretty. And then I also won a pattern from the Saranova Crafts podcast, and it is the Farmhouse Flats pattern by Melissa Stadja. I can't pronounce her name, but she's Hey Lady Hey on Instagram. But the Farmhouse Flats, they are like a worsted, I think, weight knitted slipper. So I actually kind of forgot that I won that, so I need to cast those on because I really want to do, I really want to make some house slippers. And the minute she posted that pattern, like, I think it was earlier this year, it's a newer pattern, I was like, hi, I want that pattern. So that was a perfect choice for me to pick from Saranova Crafts. And then I did a little bit of a splurge, and I bought a D-stash from Rachel, who's Love Knots. She was getting rid of a couple skeins of some of her indie dyed yarn that she didn't want to get rid of, but she knew she probably wasn't going to use it anytime soon. So I ended up buying all 3 from her for a little bit of a deal, so that I couldn't really pass up. I typically don't do these kind of things, but again, it was supporting a friend, and come on, this stuff is really pretty. So so the first one is JK Swatches, which I had actually never heard of JK Swatches, but it's super pretty. This is it says Twilight, I don't know if it's a Twilight base, and this is Dyer's Choice is the color. Not really sure, but it's a merino, silk, nylon, poly superwash. It's got some stellina in it too. But look at that, look how pretty that is. I think blues and purpley, burgundy, pinks. Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. It sparkles. I don't know if you can see any of the sparkle. So this one is really pretty. And then we got a Vice Yarns in the, I believe, this didn't have a label, so she said it was Vice Yarns. I looked it up. It looks like the Boogie Nights colorway, I believe. I think that's what I determined it was. But it goes from like a burgundy, pink, purple, teal, blue. So it's a gradient. It is a, was it just I don't even know what it was. I think it's a merino. It's a mystery gradient, but it's pretty, and it's 100 grams, so that'll become a shawl, I'm sure. And then I really like this one too. This is Desert Vista Dye Works in the Viso base, which is a superwash merino nylon in the cauldron, so it's a Halloween color, self-striping, but we got some kind of a green, like oozy greens, swampy greens, grays, self-striping, so this might have to become a pair of socks. I don't know, I really like shawls. This might be a Halloween shawl. So though that was my splurge for the month, literally that's all I bought this month. Well, okay, I bought the stuff from the trunk show. That was supporting local. This was a splurge. See how I justify things here? Next up is another prize on the way from Tega Hilliard. I don't know how to pronounce her name, designs, but I won an Instagram prize. You know, I don't like reposting and doing all those things, but I'll do them every once in a while, and I never thought in the wildest dreams I'd win this one. But she does these prizes all the time. But I won a shawl, or a pattern, which I picked out the Emsbury shawl, and the rest is a surprise. So she's sending me a package with, I think, some yarn in it, and yarn and goodies. That's all I think it said on the Instagram post, so yay. So So I'm excited for that. I like surprises, so I will have that for next time. And then I bought, not knitting related, but fun related, some earrings. I wandered into Claire's, and I meant to put some on today, but I'm obviously not done up today. I wandered into Claire's and they were having a sale for buy 3, get 3 free. So why not? So I posted these ones on Instagram. These remind me of my buddy Jen, little owls. So I got my owls. So I got 3 kind of fun pair and 3 kind of fancy pairs, how I figured it. Coffees, because you know I can't live without my daily coffee, so little coffee earrings. And then of course cannot pass up, I'll just show you one. These ones I've already worn. Kitties. So I got a pair of kitties. So those are the 3 fun pair, and then the 3 fancy pair. I typically don't do gold, but I don't know, something about these I was really pretty. Or they're not real gold, but gold colored. I got the one gold color. Try to straighten them out, but these were super pretty. So I got these. And I like the dangly earrings, so I was looking for 3 danglies. And then I got, and I know these are cheap, they're Claire's, but you know, hopefully they'll stay together. And these ones, let's look at the silver ones. And then I got the silver, the gold, and then a colored pair. It's pretty teal. And I've kind of been holding on to these until I recorded, so I've had these for like a month and I haven't touched them except for the cats I pulled out. So finally I can put these away and wear them. Not that I couldn't have before, but I wanted to just keep them all together until I showed them off. So those were my earrings. And hopefully that's it. I just don't remember. It's like when I wait so long to record, I kind of, I try to kind of keep things together and not use it, but then it's like, okay, well eventually I gotta use things, so it is what it is. If I think of anything else, or if anyone remembers anything else, let me know. So on to health and wellness. Warrior Camp, it was a success. I would say it was a success. We were a small little group, but we were a nice, fun, encouraging group, and it's not over. It's completed, but it's not over. That's how I'm saying. We want to continue the group as just a fun place to encourage each other and work on our health and fitness and crafty stuff as well. We're hoping to continue to set like maybe monthly goals and do monthly drawings. So maybe for simple things, I can make bags here and there, or pattern giveaways. So if you are still interested in checking us out and working on your health and fitness as well as your crafty goals, then come over to Warrior Camp 2016 and you can still join in the chats and see what we got going on. We do need to get together and still draw prizes for everything, so I need to get together with the prizes are going to be drawn and everything. So but yeah, it was a nice little group. I liked it, so maybe we'll do it again next year. I don't know. Potentially this month. I think it was a little vague, but I think I'm testing for Orange Belt. I think Emily might be testing for Orange Belt this month. It's at the end of the month, August 26th or 25th or something. I got an email from the studio just said, you or one of your members of your family are eligible for your belt test this month. So it was kind of a generic email. I think they just send out to anyone who is eligible for a belt test this month. But they didn't specify if it was me or Emily or both. So I know I talked to the teacher last month and she had mentioned maybe by August Emily would be ready, and she hasn't said anything about me, but I'm pretty certain I'm ready because I know all the stuff and I, feel like I'm ready. So hopefully both me and Emily will test together at the end of the month, because that would be really cool if we both got orange belts together. After orange, it gets a lot more challenging for Emily, I know. I mean, it's going to be challenging for me too, but obviously I have an easier time remembering. I'm a little more into it as far as I will practice it every day-ish at home, and Emily's 6, so she doesn't necessarily understand that yet. She just wants to play. But and I know I've seen some of the orange belt stuff, and I know Emily's gonna have a little bit of a harder time wrapping her little brain around it right now, so hopefully she'll let me help her. Bad podcaster, apparently I did not unload my phone before I started to record, so I ran out of space. Oops. So anyways, orange belts at the end of the month, hopefully for both me and Emily. Eating's been better. We've been trying to make a little bit of healthier meals, so like I made some black bean burgers that turned out pretty good. We've been doing some like tuna salad, kind of like do like a scoop of tuna on some greens with like a lemon dressing. It's pretty good. I'm gonna try to make some kind of crock pot drumsticks tonight that were healthy-ish. I don't know. But the weekends come. I had my mom and her husband and my stepdad over this weekend, and we celebrated my mom's birthday a month late and got cake because, you know, any reason to get cake. We went out to dinner, you know, so it's like so difficult. We had chips and dip and, you know, all the snacks. So that's what gets me. So I haven't stepped on the. I was down a little bit weight. I was doing pretty good, and then I haven't stepped on the scale since the weekend because I knew I did so bad. But that's okay. We just keep going. We just keep trying again. So can't be too down on myself. So, weekend review, month in review, July review. 4th of July was fun. We went to the in-laws' house on the lake, and we got to watch fireworks on the lake. They have a little association that one of their little old cottage, not the house that they live in, but their little cottage is in this little association, and they put on a fireworks show. We went out on the boat and got to watch them from the lake, and it was pretty good. Actually, it was a decent fireworks show. Kids were super excited to stay up late. However, staying up late, they don't seem to understand the concept that you sleep in late, so they were still up super early and were crabby all day. So that part wasn't as good. But, you know, still had a good day. Like I said, last time I recorded, I was like, okay, I'm back into it. I'm gonna do it every week. We're gonna go, you know? Then the next week came and my grandma ended up in the hospital. She is A-okay, everything is great now. She's home, back. Great. So, but at the time, it was really scary. It was kind of touch and go. She had to be moved to different hospitals, and started off with a cut on her hand and turned into they found an underlying condition that she had with her heart. So, good thing she did end up in there because they found this other problem that it was an easy fix. She just has to take some medication and watch what she eats, and she's feeling better than she did, you know, months ago. So, that was good, but it was pretty scary. Then the following week became swim lessons. And swim lessons have been going on for 3 weeks, and it kind of threw a rail into any other activities like day camp because they were in the middle of the afternoon, and I can't pick her up from day camp early because they go out and do field trips and stuff. So I had Emily home. David was still in school, a normal schedule, because it didn't interfere with him, but because he was only half days. But Emily was home with me for 3 weeks. I love her so much, but oh my word, having her with me at my side for 3 weeks was like ready to explode. So finally she's back in day camp, and she's only gone 3 days a week, but that's 3 days, 3 mornings that I get to myself. It's quiet. I get to do things like this, my podcast. And I know there's lots of people that podcast at work and can do it at night, but you know, at nighttime, that's the only time I see my husband, and that's hectic time with getting the kids to bed, and I'm just exhausted. So I don't do it at nights. And weekends are the same thing. That's like the only time our family's together and we get things done. I just haven't really tried to incorporate podcasts into that time because I feel like that's a very important time already for me, so for my family. So that's why, you know, it's like I love doing the podcast, I do, but you know, my family has to come first, and I don't want it to interfere with that time, and I feel awkward sitting upstairs recording when my husband's downstairs or the kids are in and out of their rooms and stuff, so I don't know, this is just what works for me. So, so swim lessons are over. David has one more today, because she did a couple extras this week, and I figured Emily's doing really well. David's doing really well too, but David's still really learning. Emily's kind of like, she knows what to do, and she's just learning differently. She was learning how to do freestyle and some backstroke stuff. She was actually learning some swimming techniques. She already can swim and kind of do her floating, because what they do is like infant swim resource. It's ISR. So they kind of teach the kids that what to do when you kind of fall, if you fall in. So how to get to the side of the pool, how to flip on your back and float to kind of get your breath, and how to swim and float. So Emily has that down now. David is still, he's like right on the cusp of getting it. So he's got one more today, and she might teach another session in the fall at a local pool, in a local high school, so I might sign David up for another session, because he's like so close. And Emily did the same thing. It's like right at the end of the summer when we did our lessons here at our community pool, our subdivision pool, she was like so close, so I took her to another session. And then she forgets it all winter, but you know, it comes back really fast. So day camp this week. The next 2 weeks, Emily's doing a church program at our church for 2 weeks, and Monday through Thursday half days. So David will be in his half days. So I might need to switch his days around actually to coincide them together. Gotta think about that. And then another week at day camp, and then she's got 1 week off, and then it's school. I mean, this is just flying. This time is just flying so by so fast. I just can't even grasp it. So back to school is coming soon. She hasn't gotten any information yet, but I'm sure it's going to be coming soon. I need to restart my bullet journal. I kind of gave up on July. So I was pretty much gung-ho through June, and then I just I spazzed out for July apparently. So need to get into that because I think that really helps, especially during the school year with all the different events and stuff that are going on. So hopefully I can it's the beginning of August, so it's perfect time to get it going for August. Hopefully we're planning some family trips, you know, just the 4 of us. We kind of talked about that the other day, trying to plan a few family outings before get back into the swing and before the holidays hit, really. But I feel like, you know, all our weekends in August are practically full. September's half full. October's booked. You know, it's just like there's just so many things. I've been shooting some weddings with a friend, my photographer friend, so that's been taking up a couple weekends here and there for me. And yeah, hubby and I have a romantic getaway soon. Just the 2 of us. His parents are taking the kids, and that was our Christmas present, so that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. And we got a picnic at the cottage, the association, like I mentioned, the association that put on the fireworks. They put on a yearly picnic, so we got that coming up. And yeah, there you have it. There goes August. And but I've gotten back into my crafty stuff. I've gotten a lot more things accomplished and started and finished than I had back in like June and May. I felt like I couldn't get anything done, so got some things done. I got some fun. I obviously got back into spinning pretty well, so I've been trying to spin a little bit every day, so that's been good. So there you have it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for putting up with me, and I appreciate every single one of you guys who've commented on Instagram and Ravelry, messaged me, check up on me and all that stuff, so I appreciate all of you. And again, if anyone's going to Rhinebeck, please let me know. I'd love to say hi. And maybe if I get myself to get my act together, I might order some buttons and give out some buttons because everyone loves buttons. So that's all I got. So thanks for tuning in. I hope all of you have a wonderful month. If I don't see you in the next couple weeks, I will definitely see you in September if I don't get my act together in the next couple weeks, but we shall see. So I hope you tune in next time, whenever next time is, and I hope you get to craft all the things. Thanks. Bye.